And welcome back, folks. We got some more SM64 action for you. GothicLogic versus Badroenis in our 70-star league group qualifier stage. I am Electric. Here co-commenting this match with me is J-Mill. How are you feeling, my man?
Yeah, we're doing all right. What's good?
So after Badroenis' earlier race, where he was just a few seconds off of PB pace going into that sky, I'm really excited to see what he's going to pull out for this race.
Yeah, but Jonas is a nut.
Truly, beating draws pretty handily.
Definitely was unexpected. Nobody really expected it. I believed in my boy, but
yeah, with that 2-minute PB differential, it was an uphill climb, but he managed to pull it off really handily. Draws
yeah,
just getting eaten alive by Rainbow Ride.
Didn't get a chance to watch the beginning of the race. I just saw after it was already basically done.
Yeah, Draws had a bunch of issues with his second plus. The first one went like totally fine, but then the second one just wasn't happening for him. That's where he lost the first huge chunk of time.
But
Then ended up having to go with the normal cycle and Fire C.
Auto splitter.
Yeah, auto splitters, pretty neat new little bit of tech.
It is. It got released yesterday, I believe.
Oh, really? There was a new version?
Yeah, by Sinosha.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, it's basically a flawless version of it. It's so good. I've been messing around with it today, and it's actually really accurate, really good.
I've been meaning to go ahead and try setting it up. Like, how exactly do you set up the splits for this game?
So you set up your splits normal, like you would for any other game, like whatever you want to split for. And then in the auto splitter, you basically just input, or you import those splits into the auto splitter software that he's made. And it actually works really well.
So it's like you have an image of each of the Stargate cutscenes, and
it basically looks. It takes the screen capture of the area that you select of your star count basically, and then at the next fade out, if you have it set to that fade out, it'll actually split at the fade out.
I see.
So
okay.
Splits just like you would normally split, but it just does it all for you.
And it's always frame accurate.
Mm-hmm. And it starts frame accurate as well and ends. That's why his timer started at 3 seconds. It starts on the frame where Mario basically just where he says Mario.
I see.
It's me, Mario. It's like right in the word Mario is when the timer will start. But that's already 3 seconds into the run technically. So you start your timer at 3 seconds. But it's you set it in the settings of it just by generating a new start time. And it actually takes the screen image of those frames and actually makes it a frame perfect start.
Interesting. Okay.
Even if you run emulator has those very laggy starts from time to time, so your timer will still start accurately.
GothicLogic having a little bit of trouble with the slide is able to go ahead and turn Mario around like he needs to for that movement. We didn't really talk about good bomb clips and Lakitu skits from both our guys here. No huge leads or deficits being forged in this very intro section.
Not really good slides from either runner though. Badroenis getting better slide, if I recall. He had a 13 flat. Gothic had a 13-3.
Yeah. It can be pretty challenging to actually get those really optimal slide times.
Yeah, we saw Wilco get that 12.5 in the race the other day. That was actually kind of insane.
Yeah, I believe there was a 12.5 in an earlier draws race at some point. I've seen a couple 12.5s in this tournament already. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, they're actually kind of crazy. Seeing a 12.5 is very uncommon, to say the least, in a run.
Yep. And so Badroenis is opting to go ahead and start with 100 coin. Did give him a little bit of trouble in his last race. Meanwhile, GothicLogic with a flawless full setup cannonless.
Yeah, can't complain. I mean, I typically start my Womps with 100 coin as well, just because it's the most challenging star in the stage. So I'd like to get the really, really tough ones out of the way.
Yeah,
some people have
missing the side flip.
Trouble with like Owless or Cannonless, so they usually do those first. But
yeah, really just down to runner preference. The only stars that actually matter are like the top of the fortress, for instance.
Yeah, especially on N64, which I mean, in GSA we all run N64. but if you don't pick the right star and you actually get the Womp star first or early, it's going to be laggy for the entire rest of the stage if you don't star select right.
Yeah, you basically have to use menu glitch at that point. It just doesn't make sense not to with the way that you have to menu.
Alright, so not too bad of 100 coin from Badroenis. And I believe did he go for Alice first? I was watching
No,
Gothic.
the 100 coin was his first one, so it looks like he's heading on it up to Alice right now.
Right. I forgot they did Womp's 9.
Nice little punch-in setup and clean first try. GothicLogic having to go a second time at that. So Badroenis having a pretty cool lead at the moment.
Yeah, anything can happen here though with a miscandleless attempt or maybe not getting up the slope to get up to the Womp or the fortress. Womps is very easy to lose time off of little tiny mistakes.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a pretty concise, like pretty compact stage, and so all the movement is really tight, and a lot of cases where you're trying to climb areas and can't really stay up on an area if especially if you fall off that like concrete ramp that you have to go up for a number of stars. It takes a lot of time getting back up there.
Yeah, that's about a 5-second time loss at least. If you go all the way up top and don't manage to get your jump off, you'll slide all the way back down. Usually you try to jump to fix it, you'll bounce off the piranha plant. It's just a mess.
Nothing will ever go right with that. Gothic having a pretty decent 100 coin. Meanwhile, Badroenis going into those last couple of stars, gonna pound this Womp a few times and then steal his treasure right at the top of the brand new tower.
I mean, opting for a normal long jump at the slope. A lot of people do the fence clip, but really doesn't save that much time overall. A little riskier. You can actually dive a little too early and hit the front of the fence and slide all the way back down.
Yep. Had that happen to me a few times. Okay, so Badroenis making quick work to the Womp. Nice low ground pounds. GothicLogic repping the repound through.
So Badroenis is actually off to a pretty good lead.
Yeah, I don't think he's really made any major mistakes this run.
Yeah, Gothic with that failed Owless and little mistakes on the 100 coin as well.
Ooh. Oh, Badroenis failing to get the star grab with the long jump. Yeah.
If he would have pressed A again right there, that would have been tragic. Alright, so I believe his fade out was the 648, which is actually a really good Womp's 9 time in a race.
Yeah, that's something that you take with a PB attempt even.
Oh yeah, definitely. Gothic with a 704. I mean, I would take a 704 in a PB attempt too, I guess. But that's like the edge. That'd be the minimum, like, or the maximum I would take.
Oh yeah.
About a 705 would be the highest I think I'd take out of a Womp's 9 run.
Badroenis with a 13-3 slide, going a little bit far to the right for that dive to the redirect on the wall.
See if Gothic can get a 13 flat now to flip the odds.
Yep. Gothic has a lot cleaner movement on the start this time. Ooh.
Probably like a 12-8.
Oh, 12-7. Nice.
Saving half a second over Badroenis.
Both of them having a little bit of a bobble with that box break as Badroenis goes into the flying stage, missing both of the twins.
Not the twins.
Doesn't want to leave either of them alone. Nice guy. But that is going to cost him some time having to go back for them.
Yeah, it's sad. Loses about 2 seconds.
As GothicLogic picks them up handily. Pretty smooth flying on both sides.
So yeah, Badroenis ended up losing about 3 there, just for movement afterwards. Or Gothic's going to be saving all that time with the clean movement at the end.
As they now both move into Dark World, we've seen plenty of leads end up falling way back in the other player's favor due to a late death here. So all eyes are going to be on Badroenis for this ending section.
835 Dark World entrance.
Ooh, in the switch burn.
Still pretty easy to make shig if you get that burn.
Yeah, as long as you're
See if
experienced with the
Badroenis can
backup.
get it here. Guess the speed kick looked like it's. He's getting really close.
Yeah,
He should still be able to make it right at the end of it.
it's gonna be tight. Gonna make that ending movement a little bit
Oh,
weirder.
no.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Not
he
able
lost
to
it to
get
the
the
slide.
turn.
He slid on that little pillar thing, the little spike.
Oh man, if the coin were just a few more pixels away from that, that would be such free movement. But
It really
you have
would.
to get pretty close to it.
I mean, Gothic missing Shig Cycle as well. And
Oop, and missing the. Oh boy, having to take another cycle.
Oh wow,
That hurts. No death so far though.
Giving Gothic some time or some chances to save some time, and it's just giving him more time. Definitely not taking advantage of those time saves.
Ooh, Gothic with a kind of weird momentum just stopping there. Got one firstie there, but not a second one.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to avoid that switch, but he ended up getting it.
And had to take a pretty slow movement up the staircase anyway, so about a full Bowser fight behind. Certainly not over yet, though. Got that good old sky jump, and then the controller crunching machine upcoming.
Yeah, it's a little more than a 20-second lead for Badroenis right now, I want to say.
Let's see, fade out there at about 25, 26.
I think Badroenis faded out of Dark World at about 05.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So about 25 seconds.
Yeah, 20 to 25, somewhere in that window. Which
Nice
is a
little lead
pretty,
to start out with, but
that's a
we haven't
pretty big lead to start out with.
Yeah, but we haven't gone through basement yet. Badroenis having a pretty clean basement in the last race, just with that interesting lava boost death. But that was one race. This is another. We've seen those performances change very dramatically sometimes in the past.
Yeah, and with that win over Draws, Badroenis is actually looking really good at advancing in this.
Oh,
Making
yeah.
out of the groups for sure. He's looking really good. With the win over Gothic here, he's pretty much guaranteed to be in, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Huge shout outs to Badroenis, commentator from season 1 and also from season 2 already.
A little bit of a sleeper. Nobody expected it. They've been
just sitting there
on him.
grinding those RR reds, and apparently that improved all of his movement.
Just doing all that single star. I mean, for some people that actually pays off. Just takes them a little longer.
Yep. But it does provide a pretty interesting foundation, because with
really
all
helps
the
you get
single
better
star
at
routes and
movement.
such, yeah, you get especially better at like optimizing movement and knowing where exactly you can shave off a few frames here and there, which really adds up over the course of the run.
It definitely helps with movement, just in the case like you're practicing all these single star strats which have insane movement. So when you go to actually do some RTA viable strats, it's actually a lot easier to do that movement once you get a little more efficient at those single star strats.
Gothic getting a little bit of a bop off the ledge, but is able to still make the penguin slide just fine.
All right, Badroenis going for CCM 18 here. I wouldn't be surprised if Gothic does as well.
Yeah, it's the smart route to go for in a race, especially if you're not confident in that double plus.
I haven't seen Gothic do runs in quite a long time though, so I'm not sure what route he'll be doing.
I believe he does the 18 route. I think that's what he did in his last race I calmed.
Yep.
How did Badroenis beat Draws? Well, first, Draws made a number of mistakes on his second plus. Ended up actually having to respawn the bomb like twice in the end. Then had a couple of mistakes to lava boost, if I remember right. He took a couple deaths in LLL to something, I remember. But then especially like in Rainbow Ride, he took like 4 or 5 deaths or something. It was ridiculous. He kept getting bopped on that very first wall kick.
Nobody's invincible to Tippy or Basement. Not even the quote-unquote legends of this game. The people who really get considered as legends, they're not even invincible. Just remember Cheese died in CCM on his 120 world record.
Right.
He's still nutty for getting a world record with that though, let's be honest.
Oh, honestly, yeah.
Absolute legend.
Now, Badroenis picking up the safety red. Smart decision, as we saw there. That arc can be pretty bad to actually get that very first coin on. And it makes the route a decent amount easier because you don't have to hug the wall quite as hard for that line of coins that leads to the shortcut. Being able to miss 3 is definitely a pretty nice little luxury now. On
Losing
Gothic
that time to
side,
get that backup res just kind of a Monka-esque.
I think
Once
it's
you
only
get
like
used to getting that jump off, it's pretty easy not to miss a coin.
I think it's like only 2 or 3 seconds though or something. Like I definitely agree. Like when you practice enough, the coin becomes a lot more clean. But
Yeah, definitely a good thing for like beginners and medium or intermediate runners for sure. Once you get into like the 49 range or so, 49 or lower, you obviously wouldn't want to do that as you're trying to be as optimal as possible.
yeah,
At that point, it just comes down to resetting.
yeah.
How many times do you want to reset in a day, basically?
All right, Badroenis moving into Benny's brew house. He's actually wearing his I Heart Benny t-shirt today, in case anyone didn't know.
Yeah, Benny
Posted on
Brewhouse
Twitter.
getting hot again over in the UK. His UK factory is getting warm. US factory is a little cold, unmanned. So we'll see if Badroenis can give him the power to power up that US plant.
Looks like he's starting. And this is actually a mistake that I forgot Badroenis made. He had a lot of issues with that boo in that first race. Already on a lot better of pace in that first run.
I don't know if maybe I just misheard you, but did you just say moon? Kappa?
I did not say moon. If I did, I'd be shocked.
I don't know if you
haven't
said
even-
movement or moon, but
I think I may have said movement. Yeah, like the boo movement.
oh, okay. For some reason I heard moon and I was like, well, we did just watch Odyssey, which that race was pretty hot.
You know, it really weirded me out the first time I found a moon in Mario World. I was like, wait, this is where it's from? What?
Yeah, Mario's kind of crazy with its lore.
Yeah, an item goes from being a 3-up into being the collectible of the game. Gothic having some issues with this last boo hit. Do not fall off the roof. Okay.
Okay.
Still on the roof. Super costly mistake to fall off.
Pulling out some stats from 2005.
Yeah, straight out of the cannon full area. Or era.
Nobody
Badroenis
even
with
knew
the-
what sock folder was yet.
Yeah, I remember Simply found like this ancient run that apparently they not only use the cannon for that, but they also use the cannon for Owless.
What a legend.
Honestly, that'd be such a precise cannon shot.
Imagine not taking the owl.
Honestly, the owl only
Eliminating
loses
that
like
being
4
faster.
seconds,
Yeah.
and it only loses time on N64. Like on VC, it
Actually-
hardly loses time at all.
It still loses some time on VC and emulator. Even though there's no lag there, it's actually taking the owl is still a little slower just by the movement.
Interesting.
Not by
Badroenis
much.
yet again with the fall of shame. Interesting. Okay, still getting that first try plus though.
And at least he got the star. He didn't bonk. That
Yup.
Getting a bonk up there is probably the most tragic thing I've ever had in SSL.
Okay, Gothic having some issues getting up this slope. Gets the ground pound. Let's see the double jump. Okay, he's on the pyramid.
Yeah, that
And
double
he's
jump's
in
actually
there.
been messing up a lot of runners recently.
Yeah, it's such a precise thing because like you have to, like, unlike a lot of double jumps where you're reacting to Mario re-hitting the ground, you don't really have time to do that in this case. Like you have to be really, really quick to be able to react it. So I think a lot of people are probably just precisely timing it. But if you hit the slope a slightly different way,
bit too. Like the first jump doesn't really matter as long as you have it within like a small window. But as long as you get your second jump timed off on the crack or the seam of where the quicksand meets the normal sand, then it usually works. About 90,
Yeah.
I'd say about 98% of the time.
yeah.
But a lot of people have that instinct to press A little too fast. So they'll either get a single jump or they'll get a no jump.
Or like the jump
because
input
they'll
won't come
just
out
get
at all
separated.
sometimes. Yeah, it's a little bit like the left side or right side movement in bits, where like it's somewhat hard to tell when Mario's going to hit the floor whenever you're on a
Right.
fairly steep slope.
The depth
So
perception is really, really weird in this game.
yeah, the Gorod shadows help a decent amount. I think that's what they're called, like the shadow being permanently mounted underneath objects. But like for wall kicks and for, like I said, like landing on slopes, it's really wonky.
Yeah, and then getting jumps off slopes is pretty weird as well. So when you're doing something like Pless, for example, it's not a Z jump or anything, but it's just like a glitchy double jump. Is the best way to word it. It's a glitchy double jump. Mario switching between two textures.
Yeah.
So it's the same way when you like, kind of when you fall off a ledge, like a little ledge. Like say you walk off the edge in HMC at the start, you can actually initiate a double jump out of that.
Yeah. Badroenis with a clean lava boost this try. This is an insane run for him.
Yeah, I want to say this could actually be PB pace right now.
This is almost. We'll need to watch his timer. I think he has his timer set up so that it turns orange if he's behind but not losing time, and it only turns red if he's actually losing time. But I wouldn't be shocked if he's still in the green after this.
Yeah, this starts
Nice triple kill from Gothic. Yeah, I really can't think of any real major mistake he's made. Like the biggest time loss I think was that fall. That was it.
Yeah, and even that's about a 3 or 4 second loss, which that's nothing.
Yeah, we take those. Just a little bit worse than like jumping into most stars without ground pounding. Okay. Oh, Badroenis having some issues here. He's gonna still go for the long jump. Nice little turn there, building up a little bit more speed.
Kind of scary when the bully comes at you like that.
Yeah.
You never know if you're gonna be able to get above him or not. Especially when you only have 3 health. That's really scary.
Oh yeah. Such a monka that like you in the grand scheme you still have a decent amount of health, but like one burn and it's just done. There's no coin anywhere near there.
Alright, just one more star here for Badroenis. Gothic working on his lava boost, which is good.
Ooh, pro ending, nice. What are the PBs of these runners? Badroenis' PB is a mid 51, not sure of Gothic's.
Gothic has, I want to say he has a 49, but it's from a few years ago.
Yeah, so
he has a 49-45 from 2 years ago.
Badroenis is on PB pace for sure. His timer only turned light yellow, which I think means he's still ahead, but just lost a little bit of time on that split. Going into Triple D.
We'll actually see. I'm not sure what time he faded out of Lava Land, but I'll see what type of pace he's on out of DDD, or DDD, I guess.
Yeah, Gothic, meanwhile, getting a little bit of a momentum kill on that wall. Okay, Badroenis, ooh, clean chest there, just barely nicking the corner of it, not losing any speed.
Fast chest is kind of scary, but he's good.
Yeah, he's a little bit further away from the star than he'd like.
Really hard.
Yeah, keeping away from that vortex is crucial to maintaining speed and getting close to the star. Yeah, shoutouts to T-Hags, who is a moderator of SM64 Speedrun board. Show some respect, y'all.
You just say T-Hags?
Is he a mod on the leaderboard? I seem to remember his name.
No, he's on Discord.
Oh, okay. Whoops. He must be a mod for like some other board I've seen. I know I've seen his name on SRC. Okay, Badroenis with the rear sub, playing it safe. Those safe strats seem to be working for him real nicely. This, oh no, falling right off the fin. Oh boy.
That's about a 5-second loss right there.
Good backup. Great backup from him there.
All right, so I don't think he's on 49 pace right now, but I could be wrong. Actually, yeah, I'd say it's not 49 pace, but a mid 50 pace.
Yeah, we'll see how his upstairs goes. Yeah, commentators don't have audio, so unfortunately we can't tell you where that came from. I have no idea what that would be. It's a nice, clean fire sea movement from Badroenis. Remember, he made that lava boost cycle in his last race. Ooh, nice little dive optimization there. That makes it even more free.
Going for the dive into the lava though, that's kind of disgusting. After seeing that good movement at the start.
He's still on very easy lava boost pace. Kind of interesting ending movement here, but I think he's still got it.
Yeah, that's really, really impressive, even with the little movement errors. Oh
boy, the initial burn there. That's going to ruin good ending, unfortunately. And getting bodied by the amp, just restricting him into the burn. Do not take this death. Oh my, he dies in Fire Sea. Oh no.
Oh, just like that, Gothic's in the lead.
Oh man, that is, oh, that's upsetting.
Just like that.
The game giveth and the game taketh away. How unlucky. Oh man. Not getting a great start to this attempt either. Early LE's still on the table, but it's going to be tight. Oh, no.
No. Alright, so he's losing a lot of time here.
That's really unfortunate.
Oh my. Now he's having a meltdown.
Yeah, just really needs to, like, instantly blank his mind of the previous 30, 40 seconds, but while still playing well. And that's so hard to untilt in a situation like this. Just gonna go ahead and body the bully. And nice little movement up here, saving himself some movement that could be a little bit error prone. Who knows?
Yeah, I think as long as Badroenis doesn't give maximum points to Gothic here, I think he does end up making it into the next phase of this qualifier.
Yeah, certainly hoping so. Oh no, the big old another death. Oh no.
Looking like
just
he might
missing a wall kick.
He might end up giving Gothic the maximum time here.
This race certainly isn't over. 36 stars remaining, but this is not how you want to be going into upstairs at all. The drone has got to be fuming right now over this. This is so unfortunate for him. At least this time, the initial movement seems to be, oh, Commentator's curse, getting the ledge grab right there, killing all of his speed. Still going for the lava boost. How? What?
Yeah, I don't know how he's making these cycles with those mistakes.
That was pretty incredible. He didn't even, like, do that little dive optimization, not going for the fastest movement back up to the 4th red.
Play it safe, don't die again, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh, Rainbow Gothic Ride, TTC can still, like, slaughter Gothic.
Oh,
as we saw happen the draws.
Gothic, though, with a pretty clean 100 coins so far. Just needs a little bit of ending movement to go well for him. Still has his extra coin. So chuck out RNG, not super important.
Yeah, Badroenis had the lead the entire race up until Fire Sea, which is kind of sad.
Fire Sea
super far behind.
Yeah. It's all those Bowser stages are like obstacle courses, but this one in particular, like there's no void, it's just all burn plane. And like you see up there at the top, like that amp is just so badly placed. He was pretty well locked into that death for like a good 7-8 seconds before it actually happened. It was just really unfortunate.
Yeah, Fire Sea is hands down the hardest Bowser stage. Whether you're doing reds or no reds.
I can certainly agree with that. And like the cycle is the least like, or it's the most costly of any of them. I was gonna say the least lenient, but it's not necessarily true. But like Dark World, like you miss Shig Cycle, okay, that's 4 seconds. You miss early LEs, like congrats, you just lost 15 plus.
Depending on if you got good ending movement or not.
Yeah.
Ooh, with a double box kick though.
Oh, attempting the double-double, just barely off the second box. Oh, man. Gothic, meanwhile, heading right to the top of the town. Yeah, the double-double is my favorite trick in this game, only because of its name.
Alright, so Gothic only has one more here in Wet Dry World.
Ooh, nice coin RNG on that box from Badroenis.
Gothic is actually still on 49 pace.
Nice little final star grab. Yeah, he definitely seems to have picked up from those earlier little
Yeah,
mistakes.
He's on like a 49 5x pace.
Okay, Badroenis is going to need to get one of these backup boxes here. Missing too many coins, unfortunately. I think he missed one at the very start. And spotting the star a little bit high for him. Ooh, Gothic, though, taking a little bit of a swim.
Yeah, that triple jump wall kick right there in the beginning of what their THI is really triggering when it fails.
Yeah, it's a little bit funky. Like, if I remember right, if you go at it like with a straight notch, it's way harder to do than if you're slightly out of notch, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I haven't messed with it in a while, but yeah,
That's why a lot of people will go into Mario Cam and then wait for it to turn and then see that one. Kind of sets up the angle. Yeah, if Gothic plays perfect from here on out, he can get a 40.
That'd be pretty nutty in a race like this.
Other than that, I'd say it's probably going to be a mid-50 if I had to predict what time Gothic would get.
Yeah, same here. Barring some sort of just massive meltdown in Tippy, I think we're looking at a mid-50 situation. Having a little bit of an issue with secrets, though. It does seem to be showing a little bit of weakness in THI, which, I mean, I don't blame him. THI sucks. Shout out to Rockjaw.
Oh yeah, THI definitely sucks. TTM sucks.
TTM is just hard. Like, I wouldn't say it sucks the same way
Easiest
THI
stage.
does.
TTM is the third easiest stage, Kappa.
Okay.
That's a classic meme. Alright, so there's going to be about a stage separating these runners, so it's probably about a 2-minute difference here.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial, but not insurmountable as we've seen before.
Yeah, it's just about a 2-minute difference between these runners. Which is kind of a shame, seeing that Badroenis was 30 or so seconds ahead the Fire Sea.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a shame just because of how good Badroenis' run was. That was a pretty nutty run.
Yeah, the start of this run was actually really good. Typically in this game, something's got to happen though, so...
Yeah. Can't do everything perfect. Otherwise, the record would already be a 45.
Yeah, the perfect run just doesn't exist.
Okay, Gothic with his first mountain clip here. And the log wall kick is good. Nice. And right on the edge there. I think he might be trying for a little bit of a lineup there with those double ledge grabs, because that'll put you right in the corner. Nice waterfall star, though.
Ooh, that was kind of scary there. Badroenis almost fell off.
Yeah. That walking along that plank is way worse though in Huge Island. Or I forget like if the islands are referred to by Mario's size or the island size, honestly. Like every time I'm in the practice room, I'm like, which one do I even select?
Definitely the island size.
And in small island, walking along that plank is ridiculous. It's a good thing that we have the mountain clip for the end of secrets, because man,
Because we know that if Mario wanted to grow, he would have to take the mushroom, and we don't see him do any of those.
yeah,
Only green mushrooms.
those useless green jingle mushrooms.
Pretty good. Oh, there it goes. I was
Yep.
gonna say pretty good reds, but still
Nice
decent
basic
reds.
ending here. Yeah. Didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, it was a pretty good backup.
Badroenis gonna be entering TTM before Gothic leaves it. And saved some time over Gothic in this stage already.
Yeah, Gothic's just got the fastest star left now, so we'll see if he goes for breezeless, but I'm assuming he won't. Probably might be watching, just knows he's a little ahead. By a little, I mean by a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for it. Oh yeah, way too far away from the wall.
That angle was really bad too.
Yeah, at least he didn't take fall damage.
Yeah, didn't lose as much time as he could have there. That fall damage actually can lose quite a bit.
Nice mountain
Just because
clip.
it takes some time to get your momentum built back up.
Right, right. Like whenever you're doing the accordion animation, it takes you a little bit to actually go anywhere.
Yeah, basically just crawling.
Okay, Gothic in Snowman's Land now, though. And do this slide off of the snowman's head. Nice wall kicking. Oh, okay, that was a little bit funky.
Yeah, it looked like he might have actually almost fell off, but luckily he didn't.
Meanwhile, Badroenis going for his reds.
Playing out a little safe for that fourth red, but having the same type of troubles.
Yeah, such little room to navigate in that little maze area.
Especially with all the lag.
Yeah, it's like the boulders start being generated like almost as soon as you touch the wall, and so it's just everything together. It's so slow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's one of the worst areas of lag in the game, besides the water levels.
It's always been weird to me how the water levels have so much lag. Badroenis taking a big old fall down to the box to blast away. But we'll still get the star handily. Meanwhile, Logic just slicing into Snowman's Land at the moment.
Yep, just one more star to go in this though.
And go ahead and chill with this bully. Yeah. As long as you're not doing that wonky stomp on the thwomp standalone route, it's pretty quick, pretty clean. A couple opportunities for speed kicks, which can make it a little bit difficult for some, but ultimately it's one that I don't think is super hard to get consistent, but when something does get messed up, you start losing pretty decent chunks of time.
Yeah, SL is really easy to get tilted in, especially on Snowman's Head.
Oh man. If you have to do that back up more than once, it's so hard to actually get yourself aligned. Gothic with a little bit of a spill there.
Looking decent from Badroenis here so far. Much better angle.
A nice front flip there.
Saving very minimal time here.
Is Gothic not going to be starting that Benny Hill chase, just grabbing MIPS immediately, moving right on along to HMC. You can also lose plenty of time here too. If the trollers decide to really not cooperate, or if something happens with amazing emergency exit, that could be a massive time loss. Yep, that too, breaking the box. We saw Badroenis actually broke the box in the last race. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a trigger. Yeah, still really crazy. Kind of hard to believe that Badroenis lost all that time in Fire Sea after seeing
Honestly.
him play so well against draws. That was
It's
a
really
really good
just
run from him.
Oh yeah, I think it was just that one really unfortunate death, and I think he just tilted from it. Just took him a little
Yeah.
bit to realign.
Probably just played some games in his head.
And especially taking the later death, like that one must have really stung.
And then doing it twice, that would just be really hard to come back from, in my opinion.
Gothic with a nice emergency exit. Also, I think we forgot to point out, Gothic running on JP, meanwhile Badroenis on that slightly more optimal English version. Doesn't make a huge difference, but like the text will all scroll a bit faster for Badroenis.
Yeah, the only time you have to really worry about Japanese and 70 stars if you do double plus.
Yeah.
Unless you're para. Oh, there we go. There's the shoulder. But yeah, if you're like para doing double plus and you know how to avoid the sound glitch, then it's not too bad. But
Yeah, I want to say it's like you either have to be or you can't be neutraled out during the star get or something.
you
And that
pretty much, after you grab the last secret, you have to neutral out. After you get the secret.
Okay. I forgot exactly what it was that caused the sound glitch, but yeah.
But yeah, it also depends on, I think it might also depend on the, I don't want to say angle, but direction. So like, in 77 you do double place, it's a little funky because you're turning, rather than just going straight through the coin.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like 120, when you try to avoid sound glitch and 100 coin, you pretty much just go neutral and then jump and kick after the secret.
And
Really
sound
sad
glitch.
sound glitch.
Oh yeah, it's pretty devastating since we don't save at all in the run. Saves 8 frames per star to navigate down to continue without saving.
Even then, it's pretty devastating because it's at the end of 100 coin, and one
Yeah,
of
and
the
you don't get
last
credit.
coins at that. Ooh.
Badroenis having some issues setting up for this triple jump. We go ahead and go with the side flip.
So uncomfortable.
It really is. You barely have enough height to get over. This GothicLogic clean Lakitu bounce. It was certainly something Badroenis was not hoping would go super well. A big opportunity to lose time. But that's only the first of many things in Tippy you have to deal with.
Oh yeah. There's still plenty of room for error on either side.
Oh yeah. We also saw Badroenis failing that Christmas miracle, but I'm not too surprised having to use the side flip setup.
Gothic is playing it rather safe though, so looks like he's trying to avoid dying at all costs.
Gothic with really clean movement on Badroenis' own that RR Reds.
Didn't quite get to see the most optimal movement, but clean is better than trying to be optimal and not being optimal.
Right.
Just one more star in HMC for Badroenis. See if he gets shouldered. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, awesome boulder RNG, just staying right out of his way.
Yeah, that last boulder was really good as well. That last boulder likes to usually turn when you get that cycle, or that pattern.
Meanwhile, GothicLogic making tricky triangles look like hopscotch, just blazing on through this rainbow ride.
I mean, should just have swinging in the breeze left.
And this one can be kind of tricky. Just move a little bit too slow in this side flip, just won't work out.
Yep.
Oop! Side flip not working for Gothic. What's he backing it? Okay, he's gonna do the flame shooter back up.
Yeah, that happens when you don't go far enough up on the little handle or the bar, I guess you can call it. So if you don't go up far enough on the yellow ball on the bar, then it actually doesn't register. It registers that you're on a slope and on a flat surface.
And Gothic gonna go ahead and talk to Toad first.
Which is faster.
Wait, really? I heard the other way was faster, but the castle movement was weirder.
So we actually had Tabascoth did some poking his nose around and whatnot into getting his toes wet, and actually found out that it's actually faster RTA to do Toad first.
Interesting.
Just because the movement you have to do for Toad late, you have to do it so optimally that you can save time.
Interesting. So you learn something new every day. 'Cause, yeah, I always thought that Toad first lost like a third of a second or something.
Yeah, I want to say that was just a myth from what they knew back then.
Yeah.
And you know how that stuff spreads.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody says something like that, it's pretty much a fact.
Yeah, like 4 frames to a wall kick.
Yeah.
Can the 8 reds be done without stopping the clock? Yes, but it is slower, and as chat's saying, much more difficult.
Yeah, it's slower by about 1.5 to 2 seconds. It's a lot more swaggy, but definitely not worth it.
Yeah, there are other strats where you go up them time moving to go to another star. It's the fastest strat anyway, so you will get your fill of clock moving, rotating platforms movement if you watch these guys do it super optimally. You saw Toad after TTC become the norm at the same time as HMC late being discovered. I'm not sure if maybe the clock is on a global cycle in the upstairs, so it could be possible that like the timing that you would enter the clock with HMC late versus HMC early could make a difference.
I want to say the clock's on a pretty normal cycle, depending on loads.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure if it's global or if it's just when you're in Tippy. I think it might be if you're just in Tippy.
I think it's when you're in Tippy, because it's always on the same area when you enter.
Yeah.
Same like in 120 when you come to Cloud Stage, it's always the same cycle. When you're leaving Rainbow Ride, it's the same cycle.
Ooh, now Badroenis.
Red though, that's annoying.
Yeah, he got a safety red, but that ended up being a vital red for him. Now remember, he lost about a minute or so here in that last race. That really, really unfortunate fall right on the end. But he's playing real solid right now. Ooh, man, you could tell the confidence.
Yeah, he's probably feeling a little better about it this time than last.
Yeah, you show just a little bit of fear in this stage, and it will eat you alive.
Maybe he got all his nerves out after the Fire Sea Spaghetti.
Must have, yeah. You go ahead and take this jump a lot safer than last time. Okay, gonna save that minute over the last run. Nice.
Although we also lost over 2 minutes to Fire Sea in this run.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Oh, and then failing these wall kicks.
I love
nice
that
sliding
matchup.
back up there. As GothicLogic moves into its last star.
Yeah, Tippy actually went really well for Gothic. No major mistakes. Just in Rainbow Ride on swinging in the breeze. That was pretty much the only mistake I recall from Tippy.
Yeah, that wasn't even super major. Not taking a death is really huge.
Oh yeah, especially in a race. Oh, Badroenis. Oh, he almost went for the optimal movement. If you can't actually do that movement, it's pretty much not even worth going for moving on Pit and the Pendulums. Assuming you can do the easier movement more optimal with time stop.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting with TTC. Like, unlike a lot of stages, the order in which you do the stars in really matters because you have to wait for the clock to move positions. And so you need to decide beforehand what exactly you're most comfortable doing with each star.
Gothic looking like he's playing Sky pretty safe. Took his time lining up for the triple jump dive at the start. Almost looked like he was gonna go for right side there, but...
Yeah. I've seen some runners take a position like that to do moving left, and they'll like kind of go through the middle of the block to start.
Oh, yeah.
But having some trouble with standing left.
Oh,
Oh, taking the big fall there.
yeah, standing
Glad he
left
was able
is
to save
actually
those
much
first
harder than
couple.
people think.
Making the kick mistake there. Mario cannot ledge grab after a kick, so... Oh boy. GothicLogic losing some pretty decent time here. Let's see if he gets it this try. And it's good. Nice ledge grab there. Gonna be making his way up to the elevators. Okay.
All right, and Gothic on pace for a very low 51.
Nice. Yeah, 51OX, I believe, is on the table with perfect throws.
Oh yeah, perfect throws, it could be a 5101, I think.
He entered with like just under 40 seconds left in the minute. I think like a perfectly optimal Bowser fight from the fade in is like 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, roughly. It's about 40 to 42, depending on your position of landing Bowser on the bomb.
Yeah, because he does like actually kind of get redirected in some cases. It's a little bit weird how exactly the throw works. Well, GG's to GothicLogic with this 5103.
Very nice.
Okay, Badroenis very, very close behind though. Hopefully we'll be able to see a decent number of points from Badroenis. Not sure exactly how close he needs to finish to make sure he's qualifying for the next area, but I do remember chat kind of saying that if they came close to one another, that would enable Badroenis and Gothic to go ahead and qualify for the next round. Okay.
Alright, so with a good sky here, Badroenis should definitely qualify.
Yeah, we'll be getting a pretty decent points payload.
Yeah, because I believe it's 5 minutes now for this qualifier stage.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll be the same for the season, but because I know last season we used a 3-minute window.
Okay. Badroenis making his way over to left side, moving, and it's good. Okay. Making some pretty decent time on the sky. Good elevators. Goomba in a little bit of a wonky position, but was able to navigate right by him, and he's in there. Okay.
So he's on 53.00 pace.
Yeah, he can come in under 2 minutes behind, actually.
So yeah, Badroenis actually playing really well after Fire C. Really well before Fire C too.
Exactly. It was really just Fire C was it. That was
Fire C was pretty much his downfall in this run.
I think the deaths he took are possibly some of the most costly in the game without dying on a 100 coin star. Wow, how did he hit that bomb? Wow.
Really good throws. Looking like it might even 52 here.
Oh man,
might
that's
be a
pretty
52-59. Nope, nope. It's gonna be a 02 or 01. Yeah.
Yep, that was a 53.01. So with that, Badroenis is going to be walking away with a pretty decent number of points. I think that'd be like 17, 18. Because I believe it's 1 point gets taken away for every 10 seconds, if I remember right. GG's to Badroenis. Let's see if we can get these guys in the call for interviews. Well, that was actually a gold in the sky, apparently, for Badroenis.
Yeah, that was actually a really good sky. Really good throws.
Hello.
Hello, how are you feeling after that race, man?
I think it's pretty crazy to think that I played about my Fire Sea away from Gothic, who's like such a legend.
Yeah, that was actually really tragic.
Hello, how are you feeling after that race, man?
I died like both times. It was at the very end, so probably lost about 2 minutes. I
Yeah,
figure.
it was
Maybe
it
not
was right in
quite, but a lot.
between. It was like a 2:15 time loss.
Another would have PB'd, I guess.
Yeah, Fire Sea was really the only bad part of your run, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
were you getting nervous
the-
about Fire Sea going in, knowing how good a pace you were on?
Honestly, no. I felt way more comfortable than in my race against Draws earlier. I just knew it was a good run, and I want to keep it going. I somehow clutched Lava Boost barely. I felt like, all right, I'm doing it. And then I went a tiny bit too early, got a burn, got a death. Second try, went all the way to the end, got a death. So I don't really know what to say about that. But then I'm really proud of how I played afterwards.
And then the last try in Fire Sea barely made Lava Boost again, and just blowing our minds. That 2019 Fire Sea movement's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and that Tippy was pretty wild. Was that a pretty big sigh of relief when you got TTC 100 clean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it was pretty good, especially because I think I missed one of the reds, didn't I? And I
Yeah.
had
You
my
missed the left
backups.
red.
So yeah, it was good to get it all after that. And then I would say overall, it's probably my best tippy of like Rainbow Ride TDC bits. If not, probably like second or third best because it was pretty good.
All right, we got Gothic in here as well. Gothic, how are you feeling after that run?
Well, I mean, I played pretty well after the beginning, which I can't be mad about.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't
you
think it's
started
enough.
picking up. You started heating up really quick.
I mean,
Yeah, just
big improvement.
yeah, I mean the Tippy was really wild. Despite that like little mistake on swinging in the breeze, I mean, your TTC went really, really well. Is there anything else that you were particularly proud of in this run?
Me?
Gothic, sorry.
Okay.
I mean, everything was kind of just like pretty safe after I get like, because I was watching him and I saw him fall, like die in Fire Sea, and at that point I was like, oh my god, I finally got a chance. Because I was watching him just like, stay ahead after my mistakes at the beginning. I was like, God, he's on such a good run for him.
I know.
Yeah, that was a really
I
good
just
start for
couldn't catch up,
Badroenis.
and then he died, and
Then you put the foot all the way down on the pedal. Didn't let up. You really didn't give
Yeah.
really any window for him to come back after those deaths. You just
I
played really
checked
consistent.
I checked the race after Fire Sea. I'm like, all right, do I have a chance? I'm like, I saw I'm pretty much done with what Jarwood 100. I'm like, maybe if he messes up a lot, who knows? And then I checked like after Rainbow Ride, and I saw he was still ahead. I'm like, all right, probably not gonna happen because he just didn't give me anything.
yeah,
It was really
I
good.
just didn't lose that much time. Everything was like really small mistakes until like bits when I failed triple jump wall kick.
Dang.
Well, it also is seeming from the chat that with this win, you're pretty well solidified for moving on into this next phase of this tournament, Gothic.
Yeah,
Who are you looking forward to facing?
is that true? Because Badro could.
Yeah, you and Badroenis are both front runners right now.
Yeah, I think
Wait, did
if
Jaws
Badroenis gets a
not
win
win
on his
again?
next race, I think that
A DNF is really bad for your points. Like,
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
think about draws like DNF in it.
yeah, when Draws took that DNF, that really hit him hard on points.
How much do you lose for a DNF?
I
Like, how
want to
much
say
do you get?
it's.
I
I
mean, you
want to
don't
say
get
it's
any
like
points if you
max
don't
points
finish.
you
You can
lose.
get up to 30 if you finish like a second late, I guess. So Jaws probably would have had at least 10 more, 20 more points. I don't know.
That's
Wait a
Yeah,
minute,
you
are,
didn't get a single point.
okay, are there only 2 spots to move on? That's my mistake. I'm sorry. I thought there were
Yeah.
more than 2 spots.
There's only
Yep.
two in each group.
I think
Yeah,
if I beat
that's my
Max, I should be
bad.
good.
I thought that there were more than 2 spots. That's my bad. Well, but Badroenis then that kind of puts the pressure on you to figure out, or not figure out, but how are you going to be preparing for your next race to give yourself the best shot to make that second spot or even the first one potentially?
Today, I'm wearing a shirt that says "I love Benny." All right, I got a custom printed. I think I just need to wear that on Sunday. And then the second thing is I just woke up this morning, did some Mario, pretty much just played all day, and I felt like really comfortable by like the afternoon. So I guess just playing a lot.
With that 120 run cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you been running more 120 recently, Badroenis? Because we noticed in the
No.
first race that you're having a little bit of an issue with the text box
Uh,
scrolling.
I believe Badroenis just attempted his first 120 today. Did you not?
Yeah, I did. I also had to
You
get
got
up
to,
for
like,
like
the
20
OBE.
minutes in the middle. But yeah, I completed it.
Nice, dude.
So,
Yeah,
I'll get
120
to
is
120 in the
such a
future.
grueling category, but it's so worth it.
120 is the ultimate category.
Yep. Well, real quick, gotta go ahead and say we will be taking a bit of an intermission. The Celeste race is going to be in an hour 45. Don't miss that. We've got, let me pull the calendar up real fast. Lev versus Aurora Dash. Aurora Dash, a really, really solid player. Cannot wait for that race tonight. That will be it for Mario 64 today. Quick reminder, !YT in our chat. We'll bring you to our 2 YouTube channels, one of which that is an archive of every race we've had, any other stream highlights and such. We've also got merch at !merch. And if you want to check our calendar for all of our races, !schedule, and you'll be able to see all of those upcoming group stage and then eventually true tournament races. I'm Electric. This was an awesome SM64 race to come, and so glad J Milt was in the booth with me. It's been a pleasure, my man.
Oh yeah, it's been fun. Love commentating. It's always a blast.
Oh yeah, especially with these top level runners.
Oh,
Stick around,
definitely.
folks. We'll see you after the break. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.